Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about farm infrastructure. We're going to break down all the different elements and also find out why it plays a important role in the farm system. So whether you're starting out or improving on your farm, make sure to stay tuned as we go through this video. To my left is Anthony, who's going to be assisting us throughout this video. Thank you, Anthony. Now, our focus should be on the different topics that we're going to be discussing today. Like, why does it matter? Why does infrastructure matter? So, all these things we're going to be discussing throughout this video. And by the end of this video, you also have some questions that you want to consider. Now, I will also be providing you with a practical example so that we're able to visualize the different elements that make up the farm infrastructure. And by the end of this video, you should be like Anthony, confident and ready to take action. So what is farm infrastructure? Well, as I mentioned in the other video, the farm infrastructure is basically the foundation that holds all the other components together. And so imagine a farm that really has essential structures and systems that support the farm activities. And we're talking about planting, harvesting, storage, and even distribution, right? And for all those things to really work in harmony, you're gonna need roads, right, to connect to different parts of the farm. You're also gonna need warehouses, storage areas, buildings, shelters for all those things to really have the security that they need. And we're also gonna need irrigation, water systems, tanks, and things of that nature so that we're provided with water whenever we need it. And um, also not to mention security, right? Because security is very crucial for when you're trying to build a successful farm business. So really, what is infrastructure is basically the structures and the support systems that are gonna help to make sure that your farm is running how it should. Does farm infrastructure matter? It does. It matters because, as we said before, it is the foundation which all the other components are reliant on. Now, instead of thinking about just the infrastructure itself, think about what it provides, right? And it provides efficiency, provides productivity. Now, when you have proper infrastructure, it's gonna increase the chances of success and also reduce a lot of losses. Talk about sustainability, talk about safety. Having a safe environment where your workers can thrive, where animals can thrive, and also where everything that you have is protected and secured. That's infrastructure. Talk about market access, having roads that lead to different parts of the farm and also to markets and buyers. That's infrastructure. Also, when you think about long-term growth, you can see that it's easier to adapt to changing conditions, and also when you think about expansion, all those things require that you think about the infrastructure. Not to mention all the other good points that we have listed here, such as supporting the rural communities. Yeah, so we can see that when we think about infrastructure, thinking about the benefits and the things that are gonna come out of that is a good way to think about why it's necessary to have it. Every successful farm is dependent on essential elements of infrastructure. The ones I've listed here are the basic systems that are gonna help to keep your farm running. Starting with the water and energy systems, we talked about how the water is a very crucial element because it's basically the life of the farm. Why? Because it's needed for the crops, needed for the animals, needed for the workers, and also for cleaning. And so, having a good infrastructure, you will need to include tanks, pipes, irrigation systems, basically anything that can ensure that you have water whenever and where you need it. Next, we have the energy systems. Basically, that can come in different forms. It can either be solar panels, power grids, or power generators. Basically, anything that's going to make sure that you have power so that your system remains productive and also safe. Next, we have storage facilities. This is going to come in handy when you finish harvesting. Now you have a place to store your goods, and also if you're manufacturing products, also good to have a place where you can store your goods. Next, we have fencing and security. Uh, I think that speaks for itself, but also having boundaries for your farm comes in handy for your livestock, and also among other reasons, you want to make sure that your investments are secured. Next, we have the access roads and transportation. Now, as I mentioned before, having access to different parts of your farm will make it easy to transport the goods, and also um, it will be easier for you when you're connected to different markets and to different buyers. And having access, to all those different markets will open up more opportunities for you. Next, we have housing and buildings. As I mentioned, I think before, having buildings where you can store your equipment, also good because now you're protecting your investments. Having houses for workers, good also because now you have people who are constantly there to make sure that your investments are are safe, and also that the operations are going as they should. Communication and management systems. Now, when we talk about communication and management systems, we like to think about modern ways of communicating, whether it's phones, radios, even digital tools. Basically, it's going to help you to coordinate your work and monitor your systems and even stay organized. So, having essential ways to communicate is very essential if you want to stay up to date with how your farm is operating.